Hello people, Libluini is back, and so is Gem and the Holograms in my Dominion 6 Let's Play. We have now the late winter in the year 0, which by my reckoning should mean this is turn 12. Let's see how accurate I am with this. We got some messages. Soggy Bottom Boy, the slave prince, has claimed the throne of the moon in the name of just some guy. Oh, one of our competitors, our mid players, has claimed one of those enigmatic thrones, which I will talk about soon, and one of our wayward she-lords has actually found a magic site, in this case the moon mirror. Oh, that's some alliteration. What is this shit? It's a nice little, well, swamp thing that produces one astral pearl. I wonder if this is supposed to be, because it's looks like it should have glamour instead. But well, mysterious moon mirrors can do whatever the shit they want. Whoops, wrong shortcut. I wanted to go back to the messages. And then our pretender's prophet has tried to find something but didn't. Well, anyway, that is all on messages. Now we have an army here. Not much going on to our south, except that Mekone is expanding like fucking shit. And we have found the capital. Let's go the other direction. Mekone, the capital of Mekone, is here. Oh yeah, there is a lot of expansion going on. Sadly, it's into our direction. So let's get on with the shit here. Especially since we still have yet to find a province giving us nice little scouties. This one, 50 units, not much that could stop us. That's a bit hefty, but it's also kind of fluctuating a lot. Let's combine those forces here. If we can move them here, and then use our forces here and here to attack. This means then we can attack this province and unify all our troopies into one slightly bigger army and then overwhelm this province, and then hopefully Mekone gets into some disagreement with our other elves, because this means that we can go back to the east and claim some provinces over there. Then there's our capital, where we now have Eri, and funnily enough, he actually got extra stuff here. Let's see, free nature, free glamour, and normally Eri gets 2 of both. That means not only did we roll incredibly lucky and got an additional glamour rank, but then we got incredibly lucky again and got a second useful path in a 1 in 10 chance. That's something. So you are definitely not some random attacker. So I'm switching back to she-lords. And now we have money left over. And oh yes, I forgot. She-lords are to the left. And now because they are also sacred, we have to do this. And now we can add some slingers. Because they are, as I often say, cheap as fuck. Now I have a little miniature army again here. Melrone. I possibly rename him next time. Some basic. Well, you should have at least 3. He's after all an important guy. So that's now the core of our next army. And I guess I give him 4 she-lords, so he has some riding punch in addition to his normal guys. And since I'm recruiting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 each turn, it means 18, 24. 24 plus, yeah, that's a lot of sacreds and a lot of slingers to take punches for the sacreds. That's a viable army, and then we'll do a test run against our long-awaited Vongan province up here. 60 enemy units, which means anything between 40 and 80, as we know. Those two are moving down here, since they can't attack the Vika from up there, and possibly would be overwhelmed if I try to throw them at 90, possibly even over 100 units, depending on how this falls out. This, we have one rider, yes, up there. 3 turns of self-buffing, then attacking. Same here. 2 of them is the absolute minimum I would do with this. And then we have our solid block of sacreds to do the rest. This should be enough for just some basic indies. The archers can not do much. From the graphic here, it seems most of the units seem to be militia, which is basically just experience food for our units. That's again everything. The first year is now over, and hopefully we will survive. And it seems like our first war will be with Mekone if there is no peace. So let's hope that our insane elf riders can deal with giants. Will be an interesting experience. Of course, since we already beat up Varnheim, it would of course be optimal if we can somehow make some kind of peace agreement with Mekone and then deal with Varnheim. It would, however, make our borders look completely in disarray, as we would have this small stretch of land on the western coast. Mekone would have the eastern seaboard. The main problem is, of course, this weird-ass province, which leads through this mountain range directly into this province, which is then only a tiny step away from our capital. And yeah, I really need another scout just to look what is going on there. You know what? We have a faint idea where this capital is, so let's instead go westward, because it's still frozen enough, so let's take a shortcut. I want to look where his expansion army is and how many dudes I have to fight in emergency. Then my research, still a bit slow, but at least we get Conjuration 1 next time. Not much here, but I guess in an emergency I could have summoned the Black Servant, but we have 0 death and 0 death gems. And I mean, through the power of alchemy I could turn 20 gems into 10 astral pearls and then into 5 death gems, but we have no death casters, so that's something. Suppose Varnheim has farmhouse, because from memory I know that Varnheim are basically death elves, so they should have casters with death magic. So in case they don't get any scouts except their own, they don't have to wait until they have a second fortress up. They can just summon themselves a couple of those servants and then use those floaty bastards as their own scouts. And it seems I have already squeezed out anything I could possibly squeeze out. Astral Pals are useful to have, I suppose. Gem income. Well, it's early game still. Maybe I should use my next Shilor to do some more site searching in those outlying provinces here. Let's see. Searched, searched, searched. Yeah, it could be useful. Let's do the math. Next turn I have 1, 2, free, and since it's an alpha, he should get back here. Then the army should be ready. Oh hell. 1. Then I move him here. 2. He searches. 3. 4, 5. It would mean in 6 turns he's back here again. That point there would be... Yeah, I suppose if I do this, then the army here will be ready long before he's back. Let's see how we deal with this little organizational problem. In the meantime, I'll hover up those 3 provinces and then turn my head back to the east. And I suppose it will probably turn out we have to put a fortress here just to gain enough access to resources to recruit those little guys in large enough numbers that we can actually get into water. But again, that's something I look at in the future. And to confirm, at least in the provinces we have so far, there are no accessible underwater units I could get. And just to remind you, this blue thing means this is a water province. Yes, this here is, I think, just some sort... Yeah, look, it's a kind of neat detail if you look closely. But this is just an ice shelf, not actually land. So I suppose because this ice shelf has no land, it doesn't count as land. I suppose it's for the best, since it could in theory melt off, even if there are no extra graphics to ever show this. There are spells who can just outright destroy and drown coastal provinces. We should possibly take this into account, but it's also a long way off. A long way. Research, yeah, no changes. So there is nothing to do anymore here. Recruiting is gone, reorganization is gone, movements are gone. That's everything. Well, let's get on with it. Hello friends, Liploidius here, and we're back again with my Let's Play of Gem and the Holograms conquering the world with elf power here in Dominion 6 land. Now the first year has passed and it's spring of year 1, which is confusingly the second year of the Ascension Wars. And we've got a lot of messages to deal with. First, we finished Conjuration and have now a couple spells unlocked. Not much, I've talked about the Black Servant already. You can get some cave grubs, they're not that exciting, but since you get a lot of them, 10 plus, they are a nice way to erode enemy fortresses for the low cost of 5 Earth Gems for 1 batch. Then you have the funny sea dogs, which are not that strong, but I guess the funny thing is you can also summon them under the sea, because then you get literally sea dogs. Life underneath the waves corresponds in many ways to that on dry land. The sea dog is a dog with webbed feet and fish scales instead of fur. Sea dogs are amphibious and roam the shorelines at night. And because there are not a single restriction, you can also summon sea dogs in the middle of the desert if you absolutely want for some reason. Then crocodiles. They chomp. Again, you get a whole 10 plus batch of them if you want. And crocodiles sadly don't have gills, so you can't cast them this spell underwater. But if you absolutely have to have a need of a bunch of angry animals and dogs aren't doing it for you, here are the crocodiles. Same path, a little bit water, a little bit nature, and then animals. Now we're giving up on all pretenses here. You just give a random bunch of whatever local animals make sense or something, and you get at least 30 of them, or even more if your nature magic is stronger. Useful in some edge cases, but since they are all rituals, you're basically wasting a turn of your mage if you do this. But they're there now. More important is that it opens up our way to the next step, where you get some more useful spells. For our mages, more interesting is probably water power, because it allows mages who are underwater to give themselves more power in water magic. Summon storm power, not exactly relevant for us now, but if there is a storm, an air mage can use this spell to make themselves more powerful. Then there's a whole bunch of more weird stuff to unlock. And our first Fey-like power spell comes at level 3, so it's still a ways off. And of course I put all those other spell levels in between. Let's take a look at them if we ever get to them. Until now we basically forced our mages to go off to war instead of researching. Then, since the first year is now over, the dormant pretender gods are awakening. Sadly, ours was not. Sometimes I've been lucky and immediately got my god back. But it seems Gem into Holograms is a bit sleepy and takes a bit longer. So during the next few turns it will get more and more likely that she will awake, but it's not guaranteed. And looks like one of our units was crippled and died during our march. Then there was a battle in Unremark. It was unremarkable. We killed a bunch of units and for some reason it looks like 2 of the archers had an extremely lucky hit and unhorsed 2 of our she-lords. Again, in Dominions 5 this would have been 2 deaths. Instead they survived. Well, since this is a let's play, let's take a short look of the battle. Here are our freaks. Let's boost them and here they are going, and here is our attack. And immediately some got unhorsed by an unlucky hit. That was fast. I guess that's the problem with a luck-based strategy. Also funny is there are some crippled. Yes, this is probably the unit who died. Ah, too bad. But in a highly mobile army, having crippled units they are completely useless. Then there was an event in TNN. Positive. Magical bird of wondrous colors has been found. Small gems were hidden in its feathers. Ah, English baddies. Then we got a hero. Eilgel, one of our she-lords. And another. The last misfit. Our prophet. I guess they did some killing while conquering Andremark, which adds another 83 income. Not too bad. It's another plains. This entire peninsula seems to be plains and farmland mostly. Good for our income, but really bad for everything else. Let's upgrade to an absolute minimum of 10 for protection. Let's check real fast. Yes, yes, yes. Everything all well. Well, now we have those 2 chucklefucks unhorsed again. And last misfit. Ambidextrous. Has increased attack and defense skills. Well, it's useful. It's also insane. Attack 20 and defense skill 27. If this guy weren't our prophet, I would be really tempted to use him offensively again. Especially with that Red Dragon scale mail for added protection. But I also don't want to risk a guy this experienced. So he stays in the back row. Now the other guys. We have Corin, the She-Lord, who has now the heroic ability of the this was the first one, right? So not too shabby, but also not very useful. And then we have Eilgel, who has now improved magic resistance. Huh, not that useful, and his moral is crashed. To compare, Curran has moral 22 and will possibly not ever run away. Eilgel is 12, which is slightly better than nothing, I suppose. And he has some affliction since he got hit a couple times, apparently. A limp, which means he is now slowed down and slightly worse at everything. He also has battle fright, which explains why his moral is so low. I guess the others got some bonus moral. Well, and our prophet is moral 30 because he is a firm believer in gem into holograms, our goddess. Well, that means those two have to stay around for now. On the other hand, those are perfectly in position for their own attack, which means at least there is not just one guy there here anymore. We have these two here. What this also means, since I don't want the poor rider to go on alone, I have to, let's script this one here and put it up here. Whoops, I keep forgetting that works slightly differently than in good old Dominions 5. Normally this would possibly be troublesome, I should say. No, that's good, because it's possibly that if I put those slingers down here, I will draw enemy troops down there, opening the way for our juiced up She-Lords. Most importantly, we'll attack this province here where there is absolutely no one. 9 units? That's not much. And we'll send in our prophet here to add some more troops, and in case there is some dump in a kind of emergency happening. Then we have these guys here. Well, Curran is still useful, so let's get his horse back. And Eigel, you can search for magic sites, and I suppose this means I can change my other plans a bit. To recap, I wanted to send this new guy, Foilas, out to do some site searching while I'm waiting for more troops to be recruited, but honestly, this is not bad, since Eigel has so many afflictions, and since he is on foot right now anyway, I can just use him for a little bit site searching, since he has to slowly walk from province to province anyway. Site searched? No? Yes? No? Yes? Yes? No. So what I'm instead doing is I'll have this guy search here, then I'll send him here, and hopefully by then here. I could also possibly send him here because I did something stupid and recruited more slingers here and then just left them here because I forgot I had ordered the She-Lords to march off. Luckily there is no new recruitment here. So, does this province have... Nope, no scout. I guess peaceful farmland isn't good for scout recruitment or something? Maybe I'm just really unlucky. So, guy 1 gets his horse back. Those 3 will attack with their troops. And then, well, let's see. I guess since this one guy then has his horse back, he can move faster. And let's see. Since I want to move the army here, I suppose next turn I move him here. Then the next turn after that, the troops... that's of course, that's a possibility. Let's think this through. Next turn he will be here. Then the turn after that my army will be here, and he will be here. And then I suppose if my troops move... if they are surviving slingers, they will be slow as fuck. Yeah, that's a bit of a coordination problem right there. Well, let's see what happens next turn. Let's not make too much of my favorite convoluted plans for the future. But anyway, this means that I don't have to send mages off immediately anymore. Instead, I will continue to recruit. Not for too long, I suppose. I just have to remember that since they can berserk, those barbarian assholes, this means they probably stop caring about the damage my sacreds inflict on them. And there are possibly a lot of them, something like 62 over 100 if I'm unlucky. So I stay course on my plan of having 4 magic dudes on horses, 3 of them elite kill squad for the back row, and the rest a solid block of infantry backed up from a less than solid line of slingers. This should work out. If we do take some losses, at least it's right next to our capital, so we can go back and regroup. Huh. Our belief system has expanded a lot, mostly thanks for all those empty ocean provinces. Oh man, I want them so bad. Let's hope this province isn't too shitty, because for some reason no one here believes in German holograms, those fuckers. Let's beat them up. So here recruiting, attacking, some side searching on the side, and one guy getting his horse back. Seems fairly normal, everything. Let's see, any other messages I've forgotten? Nope, this should cover everything. Research. It's going on. Let's add some more conjuration on the back end there. And we are now at alteration 2. This will take some turns, I suppose. And alteration 2 will give us a bunch of new spells. Many of them not very useful at stuff like blur and mirror images. I think, yep, group blur has stronger versions down the line. And remember, not all of our units and commanders are sacred. So giving our mages the ability to extend our insanity to larger groups of our non-sacreds will help us in the long run. So anyway, that should have been turn 12 if I'm not completely off again. Not too shabby. I've seen worse. Let's continue. And we're back, people. This time it's spring in the year 1. In other words, it's turn 13, and this time I actually read what I saw when clicking on play a turn. So I know, yes, it's definitely turn 13. So let's see what tiny little messages we have. Our little on-foot She-Lord Eigel found nothing. Oh, I love this shit. There was a battle in Naschen. We actually attacked and lost one of our slingers, and that was the only loss. And we attacked some Kappas and a Kappa mage. Oh, how cute. Recuperation. This means this unit heals afflictions. Which is kind of funny. The idea that this Kappa mage can magically heal the trauma of battles, or stuff like battle fright disappears. Recuperation does not care about details. A deadly disease, if you can survive it, the loss of your head, or something more benign like being crippled, it's get all healed. Oh shit, I meant a limp. Crippled is not benign, but it also means if you have these guys with you, this means they can heal crippled units. Just if you have large armies, you probably need a lot of those guys. And water mage level 1. Yeah, that's not really that good, but I need water mages underwater. And at least I have also the possibility to side search with sheep mages if I take this province. And land encumbrance. Huh, okay, so these guys get +5 to their already hefty encumbrance. Or 3, 1, 10. Huh. Nope. This time the game is nice and already calculates as if the harsh penalty is applied. So encumbrance means whenever the unit casts a spell or uses a weapon, they gain encumbrance. Fatigue, sorry. This number here. So this means if this poor little turtle guy swings his koppo, apparently some kind of club, exactly 10 times, they are already very close to sleeping. 11 times, still going. 12 times, that was it. So 12 turns is not much. Combat speed 10 times, well, at least as I understand the rules, just walking normally doesn't give you additional fatigue. There are spells for this. So as you can see, because he has more than one weapon, he gets more encumbrance than normal. But also this means normally his encumbrance would just be 4. But it's +5 for being on land, so it's 9 instead. And casting spells for this guy is a little bit worse. So what happens here is, if you cast any spell, you get 10 fatigue. And since most spells also add fatigue, this can add up fast. So on land, these guys are basically just mobile healers, not much more. Or side searchers. Kappas. Same thing, they have terrifying encumbrance on land, so I guess they are purely underwater fighters. On the other hand, their attack skill is at least average. Believe me, there are actually worse fighters. They have some protection, so I won't immediately die to any hit. The defense skill is terrible. They have slightly more than average hit points. They will get hit a lot, but not always die. And apparently the units itself have recuperation. So I do not know if this extends to healing other units or just themselves. I guess we'll be surprised. Anyway, since these guys have their clubs and claws, they have double attacks, which means even though their attack skill is average, statistically they have a fairly large chance to hit someone, and since their strength is also not that bad, they're possibly doing more damage than is done here. And damage special, the damage value plus the unit strength determines the amount of damage done with an attack. So in other words, it's damage -3. Oh, so -3 plus 30 is 10. I see. Little Kappa, your weapon is terrible. Absolutely terrible. The claws are far better. So, and both have attack length 10. So I don't know much about Japanese mythology. So I guess a koppo is some kind of really short hammer or something, since it's doing blunt damage. The kappa is a scaled humanoid with a turtle shell on its back. It is a water being and haunts rivers and wild coasts. The kappa has a water-filled depression on the top of its head. If this water is spilled, it loses its strength. It's luckily not simulated as far as I can see. In battles on dry land, the kappa will gain fatigue until unconscious. It is also a master of koppo, the bone-breaking technique. The kappa is also able to mend broken bones should it suffer injury. And as we've seen, the healing thing is simulated by recuperation. So it's of course a bit stretched, since there is no special recuperation just for broken bones. This guy can heal anything, even the most deadly diseases known to mankind. And koppo appears is not an attack at all, I mean a weapon at all, but it simulates martial arts. That's a funny idea, I have to say. I like it. Anyways, let's look at those poor guys getting wasted by the most insane elves known to mankind. And elfkind, I suppose. And no, they basically get any shit. They never got a chance to do anything except kill that one guy. Rooted is good, good job. It seems our troops exterminated them all. Well, good for them. Then next we have an unexpected event, twice as many, in Lorberel. First we gain unrest because of trolls and lose some gold. Then next, a revolt in Lorberel. That's funny. And of course it's a completely normal army. That's a strange fucking event. Of course, our armies are now completely out of position here. Of course, of course. Just as I thought things are normalizing a bit, we get one of the shittiest events ever, the revolt. Especially in the early game, that's fucked up, especially since we have a possibly hostile force here. I'm sure that's not true. That's only because we are absolutely fucking blind down there. Now I have to use my poor scout to get a look at what is going on down there. But on the other hand, we got this province with its shitty income and its tiny resources. But we have not that much bad luck because those Kappa guys need an absolute minimum of resources. So we can spend a lot of money getting them. And the Kappa chief. Oh, okay, that's mean. So we only get the non-magic variant? Huh. That's not really a nice game. The funny thing is we still have to build a fortress here just to get enough together here, because now we have assaults down here. It's of course the only connection line here. So I guess we have to build a fortress here just to keep the assaults down there. Then we have to reroute troops into the water as fast as possible. Now, of course, my bad luck strikes again. Now we have to leave those guys where they are, and instead march this entire army down again. Our luck. Sadly not all of us can strike, so we go down here. And well, Ailgil, you can go around, do some more side searchings. Or I can let you sneak. So in case something bad happens again, at least you're not immediately dying. Let's upgrade the defense here a bit. And Curran is Alina here. He is alone. Sorry, I slipped back into German for a second there. So let's keep a strike force here and then march back here, because even though some players are a bit lenient with provinces, they see their mid player, their friend, neighborly players lose. There are also those who are sneaky bastards and will try to get us back. Since we already beat him up, I hope he won't do this again, but in case he does, I want to have a strong enough force that we can beat him up again. Especially since now we have about double the amount of sacreds. And if he absolutely want to go to war with us, I suppose it's better to send a strong force than keep going with a weak force. So this stupid province, this is unfucking believable. So let's keep going here. Let's see. Oh, recruitment points. That's a little limit. Hey, maybe I don't need a fort here after all, because the recruitment points don't actually go up. And since these guys take 8 recruitment points, they can eat up their allotment fast. And since they absolutely need no additional resources, maybe I just leave it at that and instead fortify Quadra, like I originally planned. Or even better, I put a fort here in, since it's also the border. That seems also reasonable. And Curran has to stay here until our troops are back. And Igor is going here to do some side searching. And then we'll move him here and then here. And this army is slowly getting up to shops. Well, since we are under a lot of pressure here, that's 20, 20, well, of course those basically count only as a stopping block. 60. I have to take some risks here. At first, We'll make a little attack squadron. Oh, I keep forgetting things are different here. Click, click, click. See, did I have? Of course, I have no magic script for now. Phew. That's our magic boy. Let's see if we can get a nice strike. Hopefully I will stop doing that. So let's be careful and put another guy back here in case there are too many of those berserking idiots fucking things up for me. Then Javelin, then melee. And they have to do the same thing because their range is almost as low. So they won't run off immediately and get themselves slaughtered. Let's see here. Let's switch those to spells and do some more blessing instead. Just to make sure they all get blessed. Then we still have nothing much here. Range, area effect, caster. Okay, we still need more research to get the group versions. Since we don't have any useful spells, let's do this. The others are just boosting themselves. And then let's do this. I really want to clear this little group off here. Recruitment, fairly nice. And the recruitment points tell me I can recruit more units. So I guess from next turn onwards there should be some resources left over to either get the non-sacred version of the two other warrior, basic sheep warrior, or even some sheep Firbolgs, since those guys are also fairly good fighters. Some nice sheep infantry. Let's see. Could have sworn I had some who could berserk, but nope. Of course we had multiple patches, so it could be that I have to review my old videos to see if they had this or if I was just imagining things. So if this works, then I have already the next army ready. My squad of 2 hopefully survives, because next turn it's a squad of 3 with reinforcements waiting here, and then when I go back, 5. We don't have to... yes, the links are a bit odd. So I guess what happens is next turn we have one more Shilord here, and if those guys all survive, I'll simply move them all in a batch here. Otherwise we'll keep the army in Wonga for one turn to get some horses back, and then we have 2 more Shilords to let them join in Belmar, and then the army can go down here and hopefully collect some more stuff down here by then. Not much more to do. Next turn we'll have our army ready to take Lorborough back and maybe beat up some more Varnheim idiots. Otherwise we'll have to contend with the fact that we weren't fast enough for our underwater adventures, because now we have the Dreamers of Riley here down with their Slave Guardians, the Lobo Guards and Shambler Shards, and possibly also really evil mind-controlling mages if we wait too long. The funny thing is they could attack Cranon, but let's see if they actually dare to do this. since they are underwater faction, it's possible that they just get absolutely fucked, to put it bluntly, if they encounter my elves on land. So there's two possible enemies we have to account for. So I guess this means I won't yet upload any videos, because even if Mekona stays out of our sight for now, simply to secure my borders here, there will be some battles in the future. Let's just hope for now that the player of Riley will continue on underwater, so that I can at least keep my little realm of elves up here ready. And I hope I won't get any more events that just steal my provinces, because that fucking sucks, man. It's not even... Oh, Lawborough doesn't even have enemy candles, but those fuckers just declared war on all of us elves just for fun. Well, not much happening here. Our research has dropped to 0 again, and well, not much to do here. Now I am busy taking back what we just lost, and hopefully this means we see some progress. It's kind of funny. I always taking luck scales nowadays because my normal luck is already terrifyingly bad. But well, I guess this is also revenge for the sheep dragon scale mails I got. Well, not much to do here, except scouting some more and hoping for the best. So see you next turn. Yes, I know Curran is not doing anything. Oh wait, there's something he can do. Site searching and everything is done, but he can still preach. It gives us some more candles here. Any tiny bit helps. So, now we are ready. Until next time, Deploini out.